All right. Well, as I said, my name's Natasha, and I've been with LovelySkin for about 10, almost 11 years now, and I've had the chance to learn a lot over the years. But I have to tell you, every single time I've had a chance to speak with our educator today, Gretchen, man, she's always just blowing my mind. There's more and more for me to be learning. So I'm really excited to have Gretchen Wobensmith with us today. She is awesome. You guys are going to love her. And before I jump over to that, just a couple of little housekeeping things so we're all on the same page and we know what's going on. For those of you who maybe have forgotten, maybe you're new to webinars, at the bottom of your screen, if you drag your mouse down there, there's a little, they call them widgets, and it says Q&A on it. And with that is an area where you can ask questions and we can provide some answers real time. We'll also take some of those questions because some of them are just so universal to all of us, right? That we will maybe ask those at the end. We've got a 45-minute presentation today, and Gretchen is going to be sharing all kinds of stuff that's in her head. And then we're going to follow up with a Q&A at the end. So any questions that you do have, please don't hesitate to share them. I know many of you shared questions ahead of the session, and we've got those too. So don't worry, we will cover as much as we possibly can in this next hour. We're really excited to have you. We are recording this session, so I know some of you like to take notes. Some people are clicking on links. We have an awesome team behind the scenes who will be providing links to products as Gretchen talks about them. And then we'll send this out. It usually takes us about 24 to 48 hours to make sure we've got everything corrected for you, and we'll get that sent out. So I think that's the housekeeping. We have such a great community of people who are so supportive. I'm really excited about being here with you all today. And I want to introduce Gretchen, who has been an esthetician and massage therapist for over 25 years and has so much experience. She's been working as an educator with global companies for about 17 years. So she knows what she's doing. We're in very, very good hands. And frankly, anti-aging, I mean, it's the one thing that literally every single person on the planet has in common. From the minute we're born, we are aging. So we're all in this together. We want to do it as gracefully as possible. So Gretchen, we are in your very capable hands. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Natasha, for that amazing welcome. And thank you for everyone for joining today. Yes, we are going to talk about the inevitable, the fact that we are aging. And like I said, it's inevitable. Aging is a fact of life. But what's great is that we actually have a role and how much of the aging process that we're going to see on our very own skin. So as Natasha had told you, I'll just give you a little brief bio on myself and the amazing company that I work with, which is SkinCeuticals. And as she has told you, yes, I'm a licensed esthetician. I am also a massage therapist. I've been in this game for a really long time, for 25 years. But at the end of the day, I am also a client. I am concerned with the signs of aging on my own skin. I'm concerned with some of that discoloration that I see as well. So I look at a lot of the products, not only that I would recommend for you, I'm going to talk about what I recommend for myself as well. So the great thing is being an esthetician, which has given me a license to just really do so much. I've been able to take my career to the #1 medical professional skincare brand, which is SkinCeuticals. SkinCeuticals, hands down, is the best brand that I've had in my own skin and in my own hands, working on people within the treatment room. And the reason that I just love SkinCeuticals so much is because of the science. It's backed by science. Now, I know there are a lot of brands out there and a lot of different brands that are started by dermatologists, and they're incredible brands as well. The thing is ours just is a tad bit different. We were formulated and researched and developed by a dermatologist, but he was just a different kind of dermatologist. He was actually the chief or the head of dermatology at Duke University, and his name was Dr. Sheldon Pinnell. And Dr. Sheldon Pinnell really understood the concept of aging and the concept of collagen. And collagen is what we have that gives us this beautiful support system that we have in our skin. It gives us this fullness in our cheeks. It gives us this bouncy glow as well. And one of the things he had always known is that collagen breaks down as we age. And he was thinking to himself, how do you prevent the signs of aging? And how can you kind of prolong longevity within your skin and again, prevent the signs of aging and prevent that breakdown of collagen? But he took it a step further because Dr. Sheldon Pennell was also very, very interested in understanding skin cancers and the different lesions that are on the skin when skin cancers occur. And he knew that a lot of these skin cancers were created from environmental damage, and that's from excessive exposure to UVA, UVB radiation, as well as IRA and pollution. And all of these elements can kind of start this rapid breakdown. Now he had, could start these lesions, these skin cancers on the skin, as well as the rapid breakdown of collagen. But the thing that really kind of was fascinating to him is he knew that vitamin C was very important for the health and integrity of our skin. He knew that we need vitamin C to be able to really have the synthesis of collagen. But what he didn't think about was putting it topically on the skin until he figured out one day, you know what? How can we make a stabilized, fantastic formulation containing vitamin C that can actually absorb into the skin? And that's where he came up with something called the Duke parameters. And those Duke parameters really set the bar on what vitamin C can do and what you need to have in order for vitamin C to be effective. Vitamin C has to be, in order for us to utilize it on our skin, has to be in its purest form, which is L-ascorbic acid. Some of the other vitamin C's that are out there, the derivatives, are great for kind of superficial protection. But when it comes to actually really having a profound effect on the skin, you need it in pure L-ascorbic acid. So he found if you used pure L-ascorbic acid at high concentrations, around 10 to 20%, and as well as a lower pH, and we have this pH on our skin, which is kind of a chemical barrier, if you will, he found that it had to be lower than that. So he found that if a vitamin C didn't fit into this parameter, it's really not going to be as effective as you want it to be. But it's not just about the vitamin C. It's also about the other antioxidants that we place within the formulations of our vitamin C that create this synergy that allow that vitamin C to remain stable within the formulation as well as effective for your skin. So we are known at SkinCeuticals as being not only the #1 medical brand out there, but we also have the #1 vitamin C on the market today. And that's CE ferulic. So if you're a fan of CE ferulic, go ahead and put that in the chat if you're a big fan of CE ferulic. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. Because vitamin C is absolutely one of the most imperative aspects that you need for your skin. So often people ask us, all of us educators and SkinCeuticals, or us practitioners within the treatment room, I love it. Chastity's like, huge fan, woo-hoo. And the treatment room know that the really what we need for the skin is vitamin C, sunscreens, and of course a retinol. We're gonna hold that thought in a retinol because I'm gonna cover that in a little bit. So when it comes to SkinCeuticals vitamin C serums, we have to figure out which one's the best for our skin. So when we look at an aging, changing type of skin, remember that aging, I said this before, is inevitable. Okay, so it's bound to happen. And again, we have a large amount of responsibility if we want to affect the signs of aging on our skin. And of course, vitamin C is going to be one of the best products that you can use. So when we look at damage that's done, 90% of the aging process that we see is from the environment. It's from, basically spending too much time in the sun, maybe smoking cigarettes, living in polluted areas, not washing our faces at night. All of these aspects can kind of perpetuate the aging process. Only 10% of the aging process is genetic. So that's either something that you can high five your mom and dad for, like I high five my mom, definitely for having that great genetic skin, or maybe it's something that you can bring up at Thanksgiving, because maybe you're out of topics to start an argument. So you can start right there with that aging process. But again, what we want to do is we want to look at our skin and we want to try to prevent some of those signs of aging, as well as do some correction at the same time. And that's the most incredible thing about SkinCeuticals, is that we have prevent, correct, and protect. And we have these three categories that can really get your skin in the optimal health that it needs to be. And the great thing about SkinCeuticals is we're super results oriented. And I can tell because Martha right here has applied every day for years and love it. I am sure her skin looks amazing. So where do we start? Sometimes the hardest aspect is really choosing the proper vitamin C for our skin. The question always comes up, what is the right vitamin C for our skin? And in just a moment, I'm going to walk you through on the vitamin C's that you can do or you can choose for your own skin. And when we look at skincare, think of skincare as being as important as brushing your teeth, as exercising, eating right as well. Think of skincare as being self-care. I'm going to ask you, we're going to do a poll right now. What is your favorite thing to do for self-care? I'm going to read these as well. There's workout, pamper. I do like to pamper and take a long bath, especially with a mask on my face, curl up with a book. Yeah, kind of like that, indulging with a special treat like wine or chocolate. So which ones are your favorite? Because skincare is a very important part of self-care. And maybe like a lot of you, we've had a really tough year. And maybe, we've been inside, maybe we're not feeling great about, like, maybe we've gained some weight, or maybe we just aren't feeling so incredible about ourselves. The great thing is that you can always start with skincare. Skincare is always going to be, we got a bunch of people who work out here. Nice, I'm going to do that after this. So remember that, one easy thing to do to really start to feel better in your own skin is to take care of your skin. So self-care is skincare and skincare is self-care. So again, let's go back and let's make sure that we find the right vitamin C for your skin and your skincare needs, because everybody is a vitamin C candidate, everybody out there. We just have to find the right one for you. So if you're old, like me, and you're aging and you look into the mirror, and I have this expression, it's mirror, mirror on the wall, there's my grandmother after all, and you're starting to see these fine lines, these wrinkles, and maybe you have a little bit more of a drier skin, our gold standard, our number one product would be CE Ferulic. And I know she's bright in these Broadway lights right here. CE Ferulic is a 15% L-ascorbic acid with a 0.5% ferulic acid and a 0.1% vitamin, 2%, sorry, vitamin E, or alpha tocopherol, so your pure vitamin E. And when we think about this, first and foremost, every single one of our antioxidants does focus on the prevention of aging, but that CE Ferulic is just a little better for those of us who have a little bit more of a drier type of skin, or even some of us who might get some of those laser procedures out there. CE Ferulic is really important for those types of procedures, and we're going to talk about some of the procedures that we can do for aging towards the end of this class. So CE Ferulic, how you're going to use this and all of our vitamin C serums is you're going to cleanse your skin. You're going to take about 4 to 6 drops, press it into your skin. Don't neglect the neck. Don't neglect the décolleté. And if you have a little left over, get those hands. And then you can continue with your other SkinCeuticals products. And the way that you layer, and I know this is a question that comes up quite a bit about SkinCeuticals, is how do we layer our products? Think about layering our products in order of weight, or I like to say viscosity, and it's always lighter to heavier in viscosity, and thinking about your moisturizers and your sunscreen as being your last step. So you want to take a look at that serum and then apply your serums towards the thickness of the serum on top of that. The great thing though about CE ferulic is that once you press it into your skin, it's absorbed. And once you wear it with a sunscreen, you have 8 times more protection against UVA and UVB and IRA and pollution than just by wearing a sunscreen alone. So these two really work well in the sandbox to really give you that full 360 protection that you're looking for when you're outside in the environment. So CE ferulic, the way that I remember that is I think of that vitamin E, and I think of vitamin E as that really good oil soluble vitamin, and that's going to be really nourishing to that oil deprived type of skin. So it's perfect for you aging, changing. If you have skin like mine, that you see a little bit of dryness, you don't have a lot of oil that's being produced, CE ferulic is going to be perfect for you. Now, remember, our vitamin C's are only to be used, or should only be used in the morning. I'm going to talk about a different antioxidant product that we have at night that's really going to give you those healthy benefits that you're looking for. So say aging isn't just your challenge, but maybe you're plagued with a little discoloration. And myself as an esthetician and on my other esthetician friends who are on this masterclass today, and those who I work with, I saw you, Sherry, hey girl, hey. One of the things that's the most complicated thing for us to treat is discoloration. Discoloration can be really pesky to treat, and it happens in different types of stages. So when you're treating discoloration, we always do recommend a few different products to kind of hit it on all the different levels to really clear up that discoloration that you're seeing. So if you're somebody who, like I said, aging is a challenge to your skin, but also that discoloration, which could be spots on the side of your face, on your forehead, in sun exposed area, we're gonna recommend the Phloretin CF. Phloretin C is so bright, the bright lights of Broadway is what I like to say. Phloretin CF is an incredible product for those who experience discoloration. It does have that 10% L-ascorbic acid, but we put that 2% Phloretin in to really help to break apart some of those patches that you're seeing. And of course, we always use ferulic acid to go along with it, because ferulic acid actually maintains the stability of the vitamin C. Now, don't be concerned if you purchase, first and foremost, your antioxidants from LovelySkin. They're an authorized retailer. We do not recommend ever purchasing a SkinCeuticals from anyone who's not authorized. And LovelySkin is the most authorized that we have and one of our favorite partners. So if you normally purchase this from this and the color changes, don't worry. It can go from a light straw type of color to a darker amber type of color. And if, as long as you use it within that 6 months, it's still stable. Okay, so remember that. A lot of times, anytime, Chastity, anytime you see that color change, as long as you use it within that 6-month period, it's absolutely safe and healthy to use on your skin. It's the reason that we use different antioxidants is different antioxidants can support that vitamin C. So we'll always use ferulic acid along with L-ascorbic acid because she's like the ultimate wing girl. She keeps her stable, kind of like maybe some of your best friends. I've got one of those, my best friend Candace. She's my wing girl. She keeps me stable. And that's what ferulic acid does for vitamin C. So albeit that the color changes, the formula is just as effective from the first month to the 6th month that you use it. Just use it within that 6-month period. So again, going back to Phloretin is going to be great for you individuals that have the signs of aging, but again, are really concerned about some of that discoloration within the skin. Now, maybe you have aging and discoloration and you're a little bit more sensitive to your skin, or maybe you like more of a gel formulation. Well, that's where I'm going to recommend the Phloretin CF gel. This is actually one of my more favorite antioxidants to use more in the summertime. I'm here in New York City. So we've got about 3 months of summertime. So we're out there full force because we're about to hit winter any moment now. Not really, we'll enjoy our fall, but still. So I like to utilize the Phloretin CF gel a little bit more in the summertime versus the winter when I tend to be a little bit drier. So the thing is both of these are super effective. They both have the same amount of active ingredients. It's just this is in more of a aqueous or liquid base, and this is in more of a gel base. And sometimes if you have something in a gel base, it just kind of suspends on the skin a little bit longer and slowly allows those actives to absorb into the surface of your skin. So remember, CE ferulic, for collagen and elastin, for those of us who are aging and dry. Phloretin, take that P and think what's creating discoloration? It's pigment. So that P is for Phloretin. Denise asked discoloration versus Phloretin. To be honest with you, both. Because again, if you're really treating that stubborn type of discoloration, you have to kind of hit it on different types of levels. And each of these products are going to work together to kind of fight the good fight and really help to inhibit some of that discoloration from manifesting within your skin. So that's a great question. If you were to use them, Denise, we would recommend that you use your Phloretin CF first and then your discoloration defense after. And that's the perfect combination to treat some of that discoloration that you have in your skin. I'll talk about a couple other products in our correct line that are going to be good for discoloration as well. So the next thing we're going to talk about is maybe you have more of an oily skin or an acne prone skin. And so the great thing about SkinCeuticals is we really do have an antioxidant for everyone. So say you're concerned with the signs of aging, but you're just a little bit more oily, have a little bit of congestion and some breakouts as well. Well, that's when we're going to talk about our pretty much brand new this year serum, which is Silymarin CF. Silymarin CF has this incredible ingredient of silymarin. And silymarin is really good for that inflammation and also something that we know, which is oil oxidation. So oil oxidation is basically if you have an oily skin and you go outside, your skin's just a little bit more vulnerable to damage. The best analogy that I can give you about oil oxidation is we know that oil, think about our diet. We know that oil is really good for our diet. That if we take a spoonful of grapeseed oil every single day, raw grapeseed oil, it's going to be good for our bodies. But what if we heat up that grapeseed oil in a pan and then throw in our onion rings, which is one of my favorite foods? It changes, the oil changes, and it's called oil oxidation. And so think about that on your skin. If you have a little excess oil and you go out and I don't want to say you're cooking your skin, but you're just more vulnerable to that damage, silymarin is going to help to protect against that. It helps with the inflammation in your skin, and it also helps with that oil oxidation at the same time. We also have that 10% L-ascorbic acid, that ferulic acid, that ultimate wing gal that's in there. And then we have 0.5% salicylic acid. And that's just really good at looking and addressing some of that bacteria in the follicle. So the way that we can remember silymarin and who that's for is take that S and think sebum. So we have CE ferulic, C and E, think that vitamin E is good for oil lacking skin. Take P in Phloretin, think it's good for pigmentation that occurs with discoloration, and take that S for silymarin and think sebum. And again, all of these are going to be used in the same way, 4 to 6 drops, press them into your skin, and you are good to go for the day. Even if you put it on your skin and go work out and then come home and shower, you don't even need to reapply that vitamin C because she is already absorbed and is doing her job that she does so well. So vitamin C's, again, think about drinking your orange juice in the morning. But if you're really concerned with the aging process, we got to treat the skin 24/7. We got to treat it around the clock. So that's why at nighttime, And this is one of my, hands down, one of my favorite products is resveratrol BE. Now, resveratrol, some of us in the last poll might very much be familiar with resveratrol because we are wine drinkers. We at SkinCeuticals drink a lot of wine and feel that we are very healthy because of it. Resveratrol has just always been known as a super antioxidant for the skin. And it does come from the skin, for the most part, the skin of red grapes, and it has full of polyphenolic qualities. We take it from another source because it helps to, it's just higher levels of polyphenols. And what it's going to do, its job isn't necessarily to fight the environment, because at night we're not exposed to anything. It's there to the repair process. It really helps our skin with its own natural antioxidant capability. So that way our skin is fully protected by the time we wake up, and we've kind of enhanced its own antioxidant reserves. So the way to remember this, Dimshin, I love it. Resveratrol is your second favorite product in the SkinCeuticals. It's my first. I'll tell you my second in just a moment. So the way to remember is drink your orange juice during the day and drink your wine at night. You're gonna want your vitamin C during the day, and you'll want your resveratrol at night. And again, we always want antioxidants on the skin first. So that would be our first step. But I wanna ask you, how many steps are currently in your skincare regimen? And this is going to come up as a poll. It's like a lunchtime poll for those of you who have seen Heather's. So is it 1? Is it 3? I'm trying to count how many I am. I am 5 in the morning and 5 at night. So let's see what these poll responses are. 5, discoloration, sensitive skin occasionally break out. Which antioxidant? I would probably recommend maybe Phloretin or Phloretin CF. It's hard to kind of say, Beverly. You are using discoloration and sensitive skin. You know what? I'm going to stick with Phloretin CF gel. Why don't you give that one a try? And I believe that the link is actually in the chat. I would go with, I feel like final answer, Alex. I would go with Phloretin CF gel. Oh my gosh, you're so very welcome. So again, when we look at the aging process, we have to look at what's happening within the skin. So we start to see fine lines, we start to see deeper wrinkles a lot of times, we start to see some of that discoloration, and we also start to see that devitalized look to the skin as well. So one of the recommendations that I'm going to recommend for more of those fine lines and those wrinkles are going to be, and this is my second favorite SkinCeuticals product, which is HA Intensifier. HA Intensifier is, I call it confidence in a bottle. It's like putting, like not a girdle, but like the newer types of like Spanx or those great types of tightening types of products that we wear to slim. It's like putting that on your skin. I love that, Dian Shen. Exactly. We're thinking the same way. HA Intensifier, what's so incredible about it is it really helps to amplify our own skin's natural hyaluronic acid content. We have hyaluronic acid in our skin. That's what keeps this collagen nice and pliable and gives it great movement. The challenge is as we age, we start to lose that volume. And so HA Intensifier, she's just going to help to assist in the skin's own natural hyaluronic acid levels. But what's also great about this product, that I'm going to show you right here, is you'll see that it has this purple tint to it, this purple rice extract. That purple rice extract and also licorice is really good at helping the preventing the excessive breakdown when it comes to hyaluronic acid in our own skin. So we're not only helping to amplify it, but we're also trying to inhibit that breakdown at the same time. And then of course we have topical hyaluronic acid, and that topical hyaluronic acid is going to start to bind moisture to the skin. I love this product because you can also utilize it around your eye area. We don't recommend on the eyelid, but around the eye area and around the lips as well. If any of you are out there and are currently patients that receive dermal fillers from your practitioners, whether you go to med spas or you go to your dermatologist, We always recommend HA intensifier to really complement that procedure and just give it the longevity that it needs and protect your investment. So that's what we love about HA intensifier, is that it's really going to help to amplify your skin's own natural hyaluronic acid content. Topical and intensifier together. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Denise. So I'm gonna keep going until maybe a little bit more. Not quite sure what the topical means. So maybe you just have fine lines and wrinkles within your skin, or sorry, maybe you just have fine lines. Maybe you just have dehydration. Another option, if you're not so concerned with the deeper wrinkles, but maybe just the superficial hydration, which can look like wrinkles if you pinch your skin together, something like Hydrating B5 gel is going to be a great option for you. It has that hyaluronic acid, again, binding moisture to our skin, but it also has that B5, which is that panthenoic acid. And that's just gonna lock that moisture in and keep your skin nice and supple on the surface. How does HA intensifier fit in the routine? First product on the skin? No, it would be, again, you would go your antioxidants first, and then you would layer something like HA intensifier on top of that. That's the way at least I use it. I'm a CE ferulic in the morning, and then HA intensifier, and then at night I'm a resveratrol, then HA intensifier, and then I follow with the rest of my products. So again, you're gonna wanna go lighter to thicker in viscosities. So these are some really great aspects to get your skin just nice and tight, help to kind of amplify the hyaluronic acid levels and really help to ward off some of those signs of wrinkles. And again, something like HA intensifier, if you do get those dermal fillers, we are going to recommend that product, and your practitioner probably would as well. Another really important aspect to helping with aging skin is exfoliation. So exfoliation, what exfoliation is, the definition of exfoliation is any agent that removes dead skin to reveal a fresher, newer skin underneath. Unfortunately, as we age, cell renewal cycle slows down. Now, what does that mean? So basically, our skin is constantly has cell renewal going on. And each one of these skin cells works on a different clock, because what happens is that skin gives us the protection. And those dead skin cells, once they've given us the protection, they'll slough off. And once they slough off, they'll trigger those cells in the lower layer of the skin to come to the surface and give us that protection. Now, normally, this process takes about 28 days when you're about 28 years old. I just turned 48, so that means that my cell renewal cycles kind of slowed down. So figure about 48 days. But what does that mean? Well, when cell renewal slows down, that means you have a slower movement of moisture to the skin, a slower movement of those protected lipids to the skin, and also you can see more discoloration to your skin because those pigmented cells are really sitting on your skin for a lot longer and taking longer to get to the surface. So what we want to do is we want to speed up cell renewal. Now, scrubs are kind of what most people know for exfoliation, but as we age, we kind of have to graduate. Like my best friend said to me, again, Candace said to me the other day, she's like, I need adult skincare, don't I? I said, yeah, girl, you're 48. Let's put the Fisher Price skincare away and let's get you the big dogs right now. So again, when we want to exfoliate our skin, the best thing to utilize are chemical exfoliants. And one of my most favorite ones is Glycolic 10 Renew Overnight. She's super shiny in these bright lights of Broadway right here. Glycolic 10 Renew Overnight is an incredible brightening product, and that's what it gives you. It gives you a glow. It is a nighttime product, so I'm going to let you know that now. And what's great is once you put on this Glycolic 10 Renew Overnight, it has what we call a 10% free acid value of glycolic acid. Now, what that means to you is you are literally getting 10% glycolic acid. A lot of stuff out there is a little bit of marketing, and what we do is we make sure to give you the ultimate transparency, and we use a 10% glycolic acid. And what that 10% glycolic acid is really going to help to lift off those dead skin cells so we can encourage those new cells from the lower layers of our skin to come to the surface. Plus, it's got this brightening aspect to it with the phytic acid that also helps with the exfoliation process. And again, gives you that brighten effect with your skin. We know that glycolic acids and sometimes hydroxy acids can cause a little sensitivity. So we made sure that that doesn't happen with this product, and we put it in a soothing blend. And so when you put it in a soothing blend, you're still going to get that cell turnover within your skin and that brightness as well. So again, glycolic 10 Renew Overnight is going to be great for you individuals who are really looking to speed up cell renewal. Now, there's another option for you, and I'm going to ask if you're open to using a retinol, because that's what we're going to talk about next is retinols. Because again, any of us estheticians would tell you the 3 key products that we would recommend for your skin would be a vitamin C, a sunscreen, and a retinol, specifically if you're fighting the aging process. Karen just asked a question before I jump into retinols. How often would you use the glycolic? You know, it's always a good idea if you're just using that as an exfoliant, start about 2 to 3 nights a week and see how your skin responds. You can always adjust from there, and you can go up another day, or sorry, another night, because it's a nighttime product, or you might sail steady with just 3 nights a week. Skincare is kind of very unique and different for everyone. That's why we have all of these different types of products, because we can really address everybody's specific, unique skincare needs. So you could use it, like I said, 2 to 3 nights a week, and maybe go on a night and then go off and go on a night and go off and then just to see how your skin responds. But for those of you in the poll, which look like a lot of you are interested, one of the most amazing aspects that you could use on your skin for aging is a retinol. This is the retinol 1.0. Now at SkinCeuticals, we have 3 different types of retinols. We have a 0.3, a 0.5, and 1.0. So one of the things to know is retinols are a little bit different. Retinol is it's a derivative of vitamin A, and what it does is once it's applied to the skin, and this is a retinol in an encapsulated form, so it delivers slowly into the skin, and what it does is it really helps to normalize your cell production. And that's what's going to help with really that glowing and that the aspect of that aging, changing type of skin. Now, the trick with retinol, and this is a saying that we have at SkinCeuticals, is to start slow and low. We recommend starting at a low percentage and starting at 3 nights a week. And then once you can kind of adjust, and there's an adjustment period that takes place with retinol, you've got to stick through it. The redness is normal. The peeling is normal in the beginning until you retinize that skin. But anyway, once you get up to about 5 nights a week, you can either stick with the 0.3 where you began, or maybe you're ready to go up a notch to the 0.5. You'd start that process all over again, 3 nights a week, every other night, and then until you can do 5 nights a week and tolerate it. And then again, you can do the same for 1.0. One of the greatest products that you can have to adjust or help your skin adjust to the retinol would be the Triple Lipid Restore 242, my 3rd favorite product, and one that I would love to spread all over my body. And that's really going to help your tolerance with this. Now, a question came up about using, if you wanted to use glycolic 10 or if you wanted to use retinol, should you use them together? And the answer is no. We don't recommend ever using a retinol or a product with a retinol and a glycolic in it at the same time. It's just a little too much for the skin. So if you are really trying, you have that tougher skin, you have that skin that can tolerate more active types of exfoliation and cell renewal products, we'd recommend that you alternate nights with the glycolic and alternate nights with the retinol. Just use them on separate nights. Again, this is all trial by error, so it can take a little while until you figure out how your own skin adjusts. Now the question came up, can you use anything on top of the Glycolic 10 Renew overnight? You absolutely can. You can use your triple lipid restore 242. You could use your AGE interrupter. You could use your HA intensifier. Whatever it is that you are looking to treat and adjust with your skin can definitely be layered on top. So that's the great thing about SkinCeuticals, and that's why we have everything in either a serum or a concentrated form, is because you can layer them on top of each other and really get the best results. Okay, so that's the greatest thing about utilizing our products, is that the layering effect is really going to target and give you that what we call the bioactivity of ingredients for your skin. Okay, so now we've gone through all of those, and the biggest question after that is moisturizers. So one that I've already spoken about, which is a corrective emulsion, is Triple Lipid Restore 242. This is really great. And for that aging, changing type of skin, maybe you have a little bit more sensitivity, maybe you're prone to irritation, Triple Lipid Restore 242 is really going to help to give you that protective type of lipid barrier function that you need. It has a blend of cholesterol, ceramines, and fatty acids, which is this beautiful synergy and ratio of the lipids that are naturally in our skin. And we're just looking to boost that up to give you more protection. Mine too. So when we look at that, that's going to be your last step. Think of these moisturizers always as being the last step during the day. You would use a sunscreen on top if you use an additional moisturizer, excuse me, with a different sunscreen, or at nighttime, your moisturizer would be your last step. Think of moisturizers as being like a lid on a boiling pot of water. They're going to kind of lock everything into your skin and keep all that hydration nice and can impact or nice and deep into the skin, and we don't lose or have that moisture loss to our skin. Another corrective emulsion would be something like our AGE interrupter. AGE interrupter is a corrective emulsion that is also going to give you some moisturization capability, but what it's really going to do is help to fight off those wrinkles, those deeper types of wrinkles that are caused by something called glycation. And glycation is just this really complex chemical reaction that takes place and basically causes a cross-linking of collagen, which gives us those deeper wrinkles. An AG interrupter has that blueberry extract that's going to inhibit that glycation from the skin, from happening on the skin. And then you'll see that you have less of these wrinkles. It also comes in a fantastic eye product, which is called AGE Eye Complex, that you can utilize around the eye area. So I did see one of the questions, resveratrol BE before or after Glycolic 10 Renew or retinol. Personally, I like the resveratrol on my skin first. I let that sit for just a minute, and then I apply my glycolic, depending on the night that it is, my glycolic, or I apply my retinol on top. I love the way that the combination feels together. And again, someone asked the order at night. Again, you would want your antioxidant on your skin. You could also use something like a potent cell renewal product like a retinol or glycolic 10, and then you can follow through with your other types of serums, and then just don't forget your moisturizer on top. Win Nielsen, when I started with the 0.3 retinol, I haven't seen much response. That's okay. It's still doing something. Not everybody sees a shed or a peeling. The challenge is that some people do, and they discontinue using it because their skin just hasn't adjusted to it. Sounds like your skin adjusts really well to the 0.3. If you wanted to, you could level up when you have the availability to do so. So again, all of these products are really going to be fantastic in helping with the health and the integrity of your aging, changing skin. And then lastly, what I'm quickly going to talk about, which is the #1 anti-aging product, is a sunscreen. Don't forget your sunscreen. Sunscreens are so very, very important for our skin. We have our Physical Fusion UV Defense, which is great. It has a tint to it. They're all mineral-based physical sunscreen, so they're just going to block off that UVA and UVB radiation from hitting the skin. Physical Fusion UV Defense has a tint to it where sheer physical UV defense, doesn't have a tint to it. So again, it's going to be a great aspect to the skin. Real quick, what does Metacell B3 do? It's a really great, this is one of my daytime emulsions that I use on my skin, especially in the summertime. Metacell Renewal B3 is a feather light emulsion. I mean, once you place it on your skin, it gives you just this veil of hydration. And what it also can help to do is it has a tripeptide complex that's going to help with really the aspect of collagen and elastin and keeping it nice and strong and healthy. It's great for brightening the skin as well. And again, it's completely oil free. So great for men, great for people with oily or acne prone skin. Catherine, I can't speak about that serum because we don't have one of those serums, a TNS serum in our line, so I really can't speak to it. How often do you reapply sunscreen? As often as needed. If you're going to be outside, just keep reapplying it about, with your skin, it's pretty much, just take the average of how you burn, figure if I burn in 10 minutes, if I wear an SPF of 50 and you need about a teaspoon amount for your face, neck, décolleté, and don't forget your ears. And I'm usually good for about 50 minutes until I need to reapply. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk about is that when it comes to the aging process in the skin, skincare is going to really give you great skincare, like a medical skincare brand that SkinCeuticals is going to really give you optimal results. But also, if you want to take it a step further, we do recommend going out there and getting professional services done. I am somebody who has been fighting the aging process since I was 10 years old. And my favorite combination of treatments is I love chemical peels and I love microneedling. Those are my two favorite services to receive from licensed skincare professionals that are out there. So I'm going to ask some of you, have you ever had any professional treatments done for your skin? See some of these results. I love a good poll. I poll my friends. I'm on this app, Marco Polo, and I probably poll them throughout the day. They haven't been answering me lately. I think there's like a thing, but I love a good poll. While we're looking at the poll, for clarification, CE Ferulic, Phloretin CF, Silymarin are all similar products. However you choose, not sometimes your skin type, but also your skin condition. What are you trying to treat? If it's just aging and you have a dry skin that is lacking a little oil, then you would have CE Ferulic. If you're discoloration and aging, Phloretin, and if you're oily and acne prone, Silymarin CF. I also, Kathleen, love dermaplaning. Dermaplaning is when it's done appropriately and done by a professional. Don't dermaplane at home. Those dermaplane razors, they're just Bic shavers, basically. They're just shavers for the skin. When you dermaplane, when we, a licensed skincare professional, do dermaplaning, we use surgical blades that not only remove dead skin, some of that surface dead skin, but we also take off some of those hairs as well. So your makeup goes on nice and smoothly. I love that Karen loves hydrofacials. Absolutely. So there's some really great procedures at home. Facials are fantastic. And the great thing about the industry is that it's super innovative now. I started in 1996 and I did not have as much fun in the treatment room as I do now. We have so many different types of options that we can offer you, whether it be chemical exfoliation, microneedling, IPL, ablative lasers, non-ablative lasers, radio frequency, everything out there. We can provide that. Your practitioners can provide that. But all of these types of treatments need good home care to support and protect that investment that you made. So if you're going to get microneedling, if you're going to get chemical exfoliation, you have to have a medical grade skincare brand like SkinCeuticals to really help with the healing process, the recovery time within your skin, and again, making sure that you're getting the results that you're looking for. Unfortunately, if you go home and wash with soap and water, you're not going to really get the results that you're looking for. So it's important to do a combination, and what we say at SkinCeuticals, which is integrated skincare, is taking these professional procedures and then combining them with proper home care. So I'm going to stop it right there because I know Natasha's got a bunch of questions that you all sent in, and we want to make sure that I answer them in the next 9 minutes that we have together.
Oh my gosh, Gretchen, first of all, thank you so much. That was amazing. As always, you covered so much and just really, really gave us a lot to be thinking about. There were tons of questions when we came in and you addressed a good chunk of them. So thank you for that. I always learn stuff from you. So one
I
area
love
I
that.
want to touch on is we haven't talked a lot about eyes. You did mention the AGEI. We had some questions about it adding that with the AOX gel, puffiness. Can we talk just a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So aging, so when we see the signs of aging, we usually see them around our eyes first. And the reason that we see it around our eyes first is if you think about it, your eye area, this eye tissue is very delicate. And it's also not like the rest of our skin that has a lot of muscle underneath it or a lot of collagen and elastin. It's kind of over this hollow space above these orbital bones. So we can start to see a lot of the signs of aging, whether it be puffiness, dark circles, dehydration. So yes, we need to treat the eye area. And so AOX eye gel, which is right here, AOX eye gel would be like using basically Phloretin around the eye area. We wouldn't want you to use actual Phloretin around the eye area because the vitamin C is too high of a percentage for this delicate tissue. But we do have the AOX eye gel that when you put your antioxidant on in the morning, you can do a little bit underneath your eye area of the AOX eye gel. And that's going to help with discoloration, with puffiness, with fine lines and wrinkles, because again, we still need that vitamin C for that support for that skin. Now, if you want something, sometimes people want something that they could use morning and night because AOX eye gel, one would be a good one. Liz, eye balm would be a great option if you just want a really good eye cream that's just really focusing on moisturization. Or if you're starting like myself to see some of those deeper types of wrinkles, I would recommend the AGEI complex. AGEI complex is my go-to because primarily I like to use a creamy type of moisturizer around the eye area, and AGE is going to be perfect. Real quick, no Rita, we don't want you to put Phloretin CF around the eye or under the eyes. That's where we would use something like AOX eye gel, which is kind of like the same formulation as Phloretin CF gel. It's just lower percentages that are better for that delicate tissue. Real quick, Angela, cleanser, I have normal to dehydrated, not sure, love SkinCeuticals. Replenishing cleanser, one of my favorite cleansers. I say stick with it. So again, eye creams, AOX eye gel, great for puffiness, great for those dark circles, great for preventative of aging, or something like if you like more of a cream for your eye area and you're seeing those deeper sides of wrinkles, I would recommend the AGEI complex. Remember that when you're using a product around your eye area, use the delicate tips of either your ring finger or your pinky, and you just need the size of a grain of rice. These products are designed to last for a good period of time. So we want to give you longevity with that.
Great. Thank you very much for that. That's super helpful. So another question around aging gracefully when you have scars on your face. Do you have any recommendations for that?
So scars are a tricky one because scars can be deeper in the skin. Now, if you have a new scar, we do have advanced scar control, which can help with some of the redness, but those are for scars that have occurred 1 to 3 months. It helps with the healing process, which is called advanced scar control. Otherwise, if you have deeper scars, say you have acne or you have acne scarring, that's going to be in the deeper layers of the tissue of the skin, where most skincare products don't reach. So one of the best things you can do if you're really helping to kind of plump up some of those scars that we see in the skin, I'd recommend chemical exfoliation, so chemical peels, and kind of work your way into deeper types of chemical peels, like TCA peels. You have to work yourself towards a TCA. We do not recommend, if you've never had a peel before, to go get a TCA peel. We all saw that episode of Sex and the City, and we don't want that happening to you. But working your way can help. Working your way to TCA, starting at some lower, more superficial peels, and eventually working your way up to a TCA peel, you could see some results, and then microneedling as well. The best thing that we do recommend for procedures like that, that just require a little bit more assistance from someone else, is to work with a practitioner, whether it be a medical esthetician like myself, or a doctor like Dr. Schlesinger, or a nurse practitioner, or a nurse, or anybody who works in the treatment room and is licensed. They would set up a treatment plan for you and talk about the various types of modalities that they can use to get to the results. But my favorite for acne scarring would be a combination of chemical exfoliation and microneedling.
Nice. So there's a question here just about when we talk about your serums, obviously you all are famous for your serums. Someone's just asking about, does alcohol play a role in any of these products?
So alcohol, yeah, we do use some alcohol. We use actually a natural alcohol in some of our products, and there's a reason for it. When you look to formulate products, certain products come in a powder form. So like Silymarin is in a powder form, or Phloretin is in powder form, or even, let me think of one other aspect that's in a powder form, salicylic acid sometimes as well. And so you have to sometimes mix a little bit of alcohol into the product to allow that ingredient to actually remain stable within the formulation and spread onto the skin. The great thing about the alcohol that we use very low percentages. And again, we use a natural alcohol that evaporates very quickly and won't contribute to some of the dryness that a lot of people see with an alcohol. So we look at alcohol in our products as a functional ingredient for the formulation.
That makes sense. Thank you for that. And then one other question here about something that when you're complementing the retexturizing activator for reducing signs of aging, how would you play with that one?
Okay, so that's actually one of the first products that I used from SkinCeuticals, because I was I'm very sensitive on the outside, not so much on the inside, but on the outside of my skin. And I had to kind of work my way up into more active exfoliation mediums. So retexturing activator, who this is really good for is, say, if you are new to chemical exfoliation, if you're a little bit apprehensive about maybe starting a retinol or utilizing a glycolic acid, or again, if you're super sensitive, retexturing activator is going to be the product for you. It has a system, an exfoliation system known as HEPAS that digests those dead skin cells. And then it also has some kombucha. For those of you in California, y'all love your kombucha, which is also going to help with the exfoliation process. You would use this it's a thicker viscosity because it's in a hyaluronic acid product. So it probably, in my opinion, would be something that you would use, like if you were using it during the day, it would be CE ferulic, retexturing activator, and then your moisturizer and your sunscreen. And again, if you were using it at night, your resveratrol, then your retexturing activator, and then you could use your moisturizer to seal it all in.
Okay, perfect. We have picked your brain so hard today. I hope you give yourself a little break after this. Thank you.
Don't worry.
And while we've learned so much, there's one last question that came up from a number of people. You did a great job of talking about the order in which to put products on. So just one little tidbit that works for all of us before we go. Is there a recommendation on how long you should wait between products like the serum and a moisturizer to be able to let it do its thing?
I would say for the most part, no. I mean, your antioxidants are going to absorb right away into your skin. And then everything can pretty much be layered one after another. I would say the only recommendation, and this is just like a side note, is with Metacell Renewal B3, if you do use that product, I would let that sit on your skin for a minute or two before applying a sunscreen. And the reason why is that Metacell Renewal B3 has silicones in it. It has really light silicones and glycerin. And then if you use a mineral-based sunscreen, sometimes they don't really mix well. So that Metacell Renewal B3 needs just a moment to set on the skin, and then you can layer your sunscreen on top, especially if it's mineral based. If not, they can tend to pill up a little bit. So you just need a little time with that. Otherwise, no, you're good to go.
Okay, so literally learning right up to the very, very last second. We are 1 minute over, and I apologize for that, but such great information, Gretchen. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to all of our community members who joined us. This has been awesome. Your questions were amazing. We appreciate you so much in our own organization, and we know that our partners at SkinCeuticals feel the same way. So thank you so much for joining us. And we really look forward to the next time we can all do this again. We're coming into a busy season of the year, so please do look for us when things start to slow down a little bit again. And if you have questions in the meantime, you can always contact our customer care team. They're awesome and super excited to help you. And if we don't have an answer, we've got Gretchen on speed dial. So we'll make sure that we get you the information that you need. Thank you so much. And Gretchen, you're amazing. Thank you for joining us. And all the team behind the scenes.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, everyone. I love this. You know how we feel about LovelySkin. We love you guys so much. So have a great rest of the day. Natasha, thank you so much. Behind the scenes production team, we love you. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. We hope to see you again soon.
Right on. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.